Okay, let's get into this. We're doing a deep dive on a really specific bit from Notes on Gardening, part 564. And what jumped out at me is it's not, your standard how-to. It's more like a journal entry about an experiment. A pretty unique aquaponics setup someone's trying out.
That's right. And the really interesting part is how they're holding the plants up.
Yeah.
Normally, you'd have like pots sitting in those EPS foam boxes,
Yeah, the
right?
white styrofoam-like stuff
Yeah,
floating on the water, standard.
exactly. Keeps everything buoyant, roots in the water. But this is different.
Totally different. What are they doing instead?
Well, they've got the pots, the usual kind, but instead of foam, they took a plastic container, poked holes near the top, and then threaded bamboo skewers through the hole.
Skewers, like for grilling.
Kind of, yeah. And they're using these skewers to hang the pots. So the pots are suspended from the rim of the container, dipping down into the water. It's definitely creative.
Wow, okay. A real DIY hack. And the note says why they're doing this, right? There's the specific goal here.
Yes, absolutely. They state pretty clearly, the purpose is exploring water cultivation, trying out different plants with aquaponics, and more importantly, seeing which ones actually do well in this specific, slightly weird setup.
Oh, so it's less about perfecting the skewer method itself
Right.
and more about using it as a test environment.
Exactly. It's a test bed. How do different plants handle these conditions? The aeration, the nutrients, how the roots hang near the surface, that sort of thing.
Which, okay, leads us to a problem they mentioned. It's clever, but the source note's a pretty big challenge with it.
Yeah, and it's a key point they bring up. Because of how the pots hang and the container they're using, the plant roots sometimes get exposed to light.
Light on the roots. That sounds wrong. Don't roots need darkness?
Generally, yes. Most roots evolved underground, away from light. And the source does say this light exposure can hinder growth.
Okay, so why is light on the roots such a bad thing, especially in water?
Well, it's pretty fundamental for a lot of plants. In soil, they're shielded. When roots that expect darkness get hit with light, it can mess with crucial processes, things like hormone signals, how well they take up nutrients. It can even encourage algae to grow on them, which competes for oxygen.
Yeah, okay. So algae could become an issue too.
Potentially, yeah. So that darkness is really important for a healthy root function in these kinds of systems. The light exposure is a definite drawback.
It really shows how much the whole environment matters, not just water and food, but light conditions even for the roots.
Absolutely. That's a direct result of their skewer suspension method.
So despite the cleverness, there's that trade-off.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not just stopping there, right?
Yeah.
The source says they're thinking about what to do next.
Yeah, they are. They mentioned potentially trying out actual semi-aquatic plants next time.
Semi-aquatic plants. How would that help?
Well, think about it. Semi-aquatic plants are like naturally adapted to having parts of themselves, maybe even some roots, near the water surface or exposed to changing light. So using plants that are biologically okay with some light on their roots might just sidestep the whole problem they're seeing now.
Ah, so it's about finding the right plant for the slightly flawed system.
Exactly. Matching the plant's nature to the specific quirks of the setup.
Okay, let's quickly recap then. We've got this unique experimental aquaponics setup from these gardening notes. No foam, but bamboo skewers holding pots in a plastic container.
Right, a very specific test.
The goal, see which plants cope best with this method.
Mm-hmm.
But the big challenge they found is roots getting exposed to light, which hinders growth because, well, most roots hate light.
A major hurdle.
And their possible next step is trying semi-aquatic plants that might not mind the light as much.
Makes sense.
So thinking about this small experiment and its specific problem, the light on the roots, it does make you wonder, doesn't it?
It definitely does. And here's something for you, the listener, to chew on. Given how vital darkness seems to be for many plant roots, what does this experiment, even with its flaws, really tell us about the absolute must-haves for root environments in water? Or maybe look at it this way. How critical is it to pick the perfect plant species if you decide to build something unconventional, something outside the standard playbook for growing?